She texted her mom, "I'll see you tomorrow." Hours later, she vanished into thin air. On May 30th, 2005, Natalee Holloway stepped into the warm Aruban night and disappeared without a trace. No screams, no witnesses, no body. For nearly 2 decades, her disappearance would haunt a family, captivate a nation, and expose a predator whose shadow would stretch across continents. Natalee was sunshine personified. Born October 21st, 1986, she grew up in Mountain Brook, Alabama, a sleepy suburb of Birmingham, where oak trees lined streets and kids rode scooters after school. She radiated promise, blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and a smile that lit up rooms. At Mountain Brook High, she maintained a perfect 4.0 GPA, earning a full scholarship to the University of Alabama. Her dream was crystal clear: study pre-med, become a doctor, help people. Her friends called her the glue, always dependable, planning birthdays, lifting spirits. Natalee would cheer you up, plan your birthday, never let you down. In May 2005, she packed a suitcase, bikinis, flip-flops, a journal, for Aruba, a well-deserved graduation trip with 124 classmates and 7 chaperones. Aruba welcomed them with open arms, a 20-mile speck in the Caribbean, just 15 miles off Venezuela's coast. It offered everything teenagers could want: white sand beaches, turquoise waves, and a breeze that carried the scent of salt and freedom. The group settled into the Holiday Inn on Palm Beach, a bustling strip of resorts, casinos, and bars. Days filled with swimming in the ocean, lounging by the pool, sipping mocktails under rainbow umbrellas. May 29th marked their final night on the island, and they were determined to make it count. That evening, Natalee, dressed in a blue skirt and sleeveless top, her blonde hair catching the light. Around 10 p.m., she and friends piled into a shuttle bound for Carlos and Charlie's in Oranjestad, Aruba's capital. The nightclub pulsed with reggae beats, neon signs buzzing overhead, the dance floor a sea of swaying bodies. Natalee danced with abandon, her laughter cutting through the noise. It was pure joy until 1:30 a.m., when the carefree celebration took a dark turn. Witnesses watched as Natalee left with 3 locals. Leading them was Joran van der Sloot, tall, wiry, with a Dutch accent and a practiced charm that masked something sinister. The 17-year-old had moved to Aruba years earlier, the son of Paulus, a lawyer with considerable influence on the island. With him were brothers Deepak and Satish Kalpo, 21 and 18, regulars at the club known for targeting tourists. Natalee climbed into Deepak's silver Honda Civic, a dented sedan with a loud exhaust and peeling paint. As a friend called out, "See you tomorrow!" The car disappeared into the night, taking Natalee with it. Those were the last words anyone would ever speak to her. Dawn broke with mounting dread. Natalee's 11 a.m. flight loomed, but her roommate, Ruth McVeigh, woke in room 307 to find only an empty bed across from hers. Natalee's suitcase sat packed: passport, sunscreen, a folded Alabama t-shirt, ready for the trip home. Only her cell phone and wallet were missing. Friends called, texted, banged on doors. Nothing. The chaperones gathered the group, counting heads. 1 missing. The call reached Beth Holloway, Natalee's mother, as she folded laundry 2,000 miles away. "She didn't show for the flight," Sarah said. Beth froze. Natalee was punctual, responsible. This wasn't like her. Within hours, Beth and her husband, Jug Twitty, chartered a private jet, landing in Aruba by 11 p.m., their eyes burning with fear. The island erupted into action. Aruban police swarmed beaches, hotels, and the rugged Arikok Hills. On June 1st, 150 Dutch Marines flew in from Curaçao, rifles slung over shoulders, sweeping dunes and caves. Helicopters buzzed low, their blades slicing through the humid air. Divers from the Aruba Rescue Foundation descended into the depths, searching reefs and the ocean floor. Beth and Dave Holloway, Natalee's father, rented a white Jeep, crisscrossing streets, taping missing posters to every surface. Gas stations, palm trees, even the Bubali Bird Sanctuary. Natalee's face, bright, pleading, stared back from every corner of the island. Locals joined the search, Fishermen, waiters, mothers, forming human chains through scrubland, lighting candles as dusk fell. The FBI arrived June 2nd, bringing agents, laptops, and phone tracing equipment. But as days turned to weeks, hope dimmed like the setting Caribbean sun. Suspicion quickly centered on the three men last seen with Natalee. On June 5th, police arrested Joran and the Calpo brothers, dragging them to a grim station in Oranjestad. Their stories immediately began to crumble. Joran claimed they dropped Natalee at the Holiday Inn around 2 a.m., a lie exposed by security footage showing she never returned. His story shifted. They'd taken her to Arashi Beach near the California lighthouse, a lonely stretch of sand battered by wind. She was drunk, he said, slurring, falling in the sand. He'd left her there, waves lapping at her feet. The Calpos contradicted him, sticking to the hotel story, their eyes darting nervously during questioning. Police pressed harder. Why no footage? Why the conflicting accounts? What really happened in that silver Honda? By June 9th, all three sat in cells with peeling paint and flickering lights. Joran's father, Paulus von der Sloot, gray-haired, stern, a lawyer angling for a judgeship, rushed to his son's side. Locals whispered darker rumors. Was Paulus pulling strings, calling in favors? Some claimed Aruba's justice system had cracks. Tourism mattered more than truth. By July 3rd, the Calpos walked free. Evidence deemed too weak. Joran remained until September 3rd. Then he too was released. No body, no blood, just a void where answers should be. Beth stood outside the police station, clutching her daughter's photo, voice breaking but resolute. I'll find her. The world couldn't look away. CNN broadcast Natalee's senior photo on repeat, those hopeful eyes haunting viewers worldwide. Beth confronted Joran on air. Where's my girl? Her gaze unyielding as steel. Tips flooded in from across the globe. On June 15th, a fisherman near Eagle Beach found a jawbone. DNA testing revealed no match. On July 4th, a gardener near the Marriott dug up duct tape with blonde strands. Another dead end. In February 2006, Joran appeared on Dutch television, casually claiming he'd disposed of Natalee's body after an accident, only to laugh it off as a joke. Public fury erupted. 2 years later, Dutch journalist Peter R. de Vries aired hidden camera footage showing Joran, visibly stoned, bragging, "She collapsed. I got rid of her." Police rearrested all three on November 21st, 2007, for manslaughter. Beth held her breath, hoping for justice. But on December 7th, it all crashed down. The tapes deemed too vague, no concrete proof. They walked free again. Then came the twist no one saw coming. On May 30th, 2010, exactly 5 years after Natalee vanished, Joran sat at the Atlantic City Casino in Lima, Peru. Across the room was Stephanie Flores, a 21-year-old business student with a quick laugh. At 5 a.m., security cameras captured them entering his room at the Hotel TAC, room 309. At 8:10 a.m., Joran slipped out alone, a backpack slung over one shoulder. Inside lay Stephanie, her neck broken, face smashed, blood soaking into the carpet. He stole her cash, fled to Chile in a stolen car, with $11,000 stuffed in his shoes. Peruvian police captured him on June 3rd. His confession revealed a chilling detail. Stephanie had seen Natalee's name on his laptop, and he'd snapped. On July 4th, 2012, a judge sentenced him to 28 years in Chalapalca prison, 8,500 feet up in the Andes, freezing and impossibly remote. But he had already twisted the knife in Beth Holloway's heart. In March 2010, he'd emailed her lawyer, John Q. Kelly, demanding $250,000 to reveal Natalee's body. They met on May 10th in Aruba at the Radisson. Joran took $25,000 cash, pointing to a house on Malmak Beach. She's in the foundation, he claimed. Crews dug on June 11th, raising clouds of concrete dust, only to find empty slabs. It was all a cruel scam. Joran pocketed the money, flew to Peru on May 25th, and murdered Stephanie 5 days later. Beth's last hope for closure bled away. For 18 years, the truth remained buried, until October 18th, 2023. Extradited to Alabama for extortion, Joran faced Beth in a Birmingham courtroom. He took a plea deal, 20 years added to his sentence. Then, after years of lies, he finally confessed. That night in 2005, he said, they'd gone to the beach near the Marriott. He'd pushed for sex. Natalee refused, kneeing him in defense. Enraged, he kicked her face, grabbed a cinder block, and crushed her skull. As blood spread across the sand, he dragged her lifeless body into the surf, chest deep, letting the waves take her away. A polygraph confirmed his confession. Outside the courthouse, Beth's words were simple but devastating. He's the killer. It's done. Today, Joran van der Sloot remains imprisoned in Peru until 2040. Her body has never been found, forever embraced by the Caribbean Sea she once swam in joyfully. Beth channeled her grief into creating the Natalee Holloway Resource Center, teaching others about travel safety and turning profound loss into a beacon of light. And Aruba's shores remain hauntingly beautiful, sun-drenched and serene. A paradise forever marked by a predator's violence, a family's unyielding search for truth, and the memory of a bright-eyed girl who stepped into the night and never came home.